Cleo.
Is that your
Anyway.
introduction?
Can it be?
It is now.
Hello everyone. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Wednesday Up Late. We are your hosts. I am Chloe.
And I am Glenjamin.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Wednesday Up Late, where we talk about movies and we have fun banter and opinions that people like to catch us out on. And we like to also play some fun games as well. So if you are new here, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to you. Welcome to the shit show. If you are a returning listener, still welcome, but also thanks for coming back.
Yeah. And I feel like Chloe almost forgot the name of the show at the start there.
Probably, almost. I'm here. It's fine though. Now we are a podcast and we also are a vodcast where you can watch us. However, we do love it if you would listen to us because we do sound extra good on Newsly. Which is an awesome app, and you can find them on newsly.me. If you want to sign up that way, it is an awesome app where you can listen to news articles and podcasts, anything that kind of tickles your fancy when you're on the go, you're busy, you just want to pop your AirPods in and go for gold. We love them, and because they love us too, hopefully, I think they do, they give us an awesome special code, Wednesday Up Late, all one word, that if you would like to upgrade your service to premium, you can do so for a whole month. It's awesome.
Dun, dun, da.
Da!
Well done.
I love it. Glenn, how are you? Are you
good? I'm great. I'm having a good time here. I've only just
Y'all having a good time?
It's only just started. As you can see, I've got like a nice neo-lit disco background, and
it is. It's very calming.
Barbie. It's very Barbie.
Very Barbie.
Yeah.
Love it. Pink is, obviously my favorite.
And I do love pink.
Yeah. Don't we all?
Yes.
We have a very fun week. We have some fun games that we're going to play tonight.
Are you still on script?
No, I'm not. But I am just kind of, I'm being professional, dude.
Okay. Really?
God, for once in my life, can you let me just be professional?
For once in her life, she's trying to be professional.
I watched some movies this week.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That's a good place to start.
It is a really good place to start. I did a cheeky little rewatch while I was coloring my hair this weekend. Thanks for noticing. We've been talking about it so much over the last couple of months that I saw it there on Amazon Prime and I had to watch Tropic Thunder again.
Okay. You went back to the well.
I had to. Had to. It was there. I don't know. For some reason, it was a lot better than I remember.
It appreciates.
And I think I appreciated it a little bit more in terms of the RDJ side and his Australian accent now that I've seen Natural Born Killers.
Yes.
It just takes it to a whole new level,
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciated it more from that perspective.
Fantastic film that manages to completely evade all the controversy that continues to be thrown at it, and it keeps trucking, and that's a good thing. And yeah, I love it. I think it's a fantastic film. And the more the more mature you get, and the more you grow up, the more you appreciate the themes behind it. The more war films that you watch, the more media you are exposed to, the more you know about Hollywood. That film just resonates so hard.
It does, and I think they meant to do that as well.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize that it was written by Justin Theroux as well. I didn't even realize that.
He wrote the Zoolander films too.
Yeah, didn't know that either. He's he's funny. He's so funny.
I was devastated when they cancelled Mosquito Coast after season 2, which is an Apple Plus show that he is in with Melissa George, and it was like one of 3 favorite shows of the last 5 years, and they leave season 2 on a cliffhanger only to discover it's been fucking
that sucks. I hate that.
So don't even bother starting that because it doesn't end. Like it's so good that you are so gutted when you've got nowhere else to go with that.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I might still watch it anyway, just to see what you're harping on about.
Yeah. Watch the Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren movie version back in 1985, 86. That's that's okay. Even better still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Because Justin Theroux and Louis Theroux are cousins, right?
Yes.
And Louis Theroux's dad wrote the novel for Mosquito Coast, and that's why Justin
Wow.
Theroux is in the TV series. Like, it's all connected. You know,
Keeping it in the
bit of trivia there for
family.
you people.
I thought Justin pronounced himself, not Justin, Louis pronounced his last name Theroux.
He pronounces it several ways. He's been questioned. I have heard him questioned on that, and he's like either or. Like, it's it's the
He
same
doesn't
name.
really care. Yeah,
No.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because it kind of Louis Theroux kind of sounds
Yeah.
better in my
I mean,
ears
that's
anyway.
like I said to Ben on the podcast the other day. You know, people pronounce my name differently as well because I've got one N and two N. So it's either Glenn or it's Glenn. And it's just whichever one you want to use, you're welcome to.
Well, that's a lot easier than my name, where people call me Chloe, but people also call me Chol. So
Well, yeah,
especially
but
if they
in fairness,
switch the O and the L.
you kind of have three names that you put across social media. So
That's true.
can't
True.
blame
I do
people.
prefer Chol. So if
Chol?
you could call me Chol from
All
now
right.
on, that'd be great.
Welcome to Wednesday Up Late with
Uh,
Glenn and Chol.
Oh, I guess it's time for our first game.
If you say so, let's do
I
it.
do say so. So get with it.
Mm.
We're bringing it back to an old classic. We've chopped it down a little bit because I feel like 4 was a little bit of overkill sometimes. So we've gone for 2 this time, and we've switched it up even more. So we are playing Filmathon, which was quite controversial with our podcast the first time round.
The first time it was, for sure, because you didn't grasp the concept.
No, I didn't. It was a tricky time for me. I rolled with it.
And I think
I'm a better person for it.
It might have had something to do with the fact also that you curated Twilight into this fantastic, otherwise fantastic filmathon. And I think you even said something to the effect of, it's brilliant. It's just brilliant. And that might have
I stand by that. I think it's brilliant. I've relinquished the fact that everyone else agrees with me. Okay.
All right. Filmathon. Let's do it. This week we've given each other themes to do, because quite often movie marathons do have a theme that connect all the films, whether it's a filmmaker itself or it might just be like a topic or whatever. So we're going to do that. I've thrown 2 at you, you've thrown 2 at me, and let's see how we go. Who's
all right? Well, the first one I threw at you, well, the first 2 that I threw at you, you didn't love, and you told me to make it more challenging, so I did. And my first, the first one I threw at you, what was it? Classic old school musicals.
Oh, yes, the actual ones I'm going with, you mean?
Yes.
I was going to say,
yeah, the actual ones.
I was going to say, if you're asking me to recall the original ones that you pitched at me, I can't remember. I've deleted those.
No. So why don't you go first?
Okay. So old school
musicals.
Okay, so I've got 4 films here, 2 of which are classic old school musicals, and then 2 of which relate to classic old school musicals. So
okay,
the first one I'm going with is The Jazz Singer. So that's 1927 that was made.
Wow.
And the significance of that being it's the very first talkie movie. So you had the silent era, and then suddenly sound came along, and The Jazz Singer was that first film. And it's a great film. Like, it's a film that I respect, that not a lot of people would want to go back and watch unless you're a real, cinephile. But I'm going to kickstart it there and then follow that up with Singing in the Rain. So 1952. Mm-hmm. And the reason Singing in the Rain, not only is it possibly the greatest musical of all time, I always whether that or Wizard of Oz are the greatest musicals of all time. Very tricky one. But Singing in the Rain relates to The Jazz Singer because it's featured in the movie. Because Singing in the Rain is set in Hollywood at the time where they cross over from silent to talkies.
Wow.
And the studios in the film are all talking about the jazz singer's doing this, the jazz singer's doing that, and they've got to emulate that. So there's a connection between those two. So I thought, let's do a little bit of a thread. That's the first one. But then for number 3, we're going with a movie from 1999, and it's called Topsy Turvy. Have you heard of this one?
No.
It is fantastic. It stars Jim Broadbent, and you go into it and there's a whole cavalcade of other stars. And it's like a fanciful retelling true story of Gilbert and Sullivan. So the guys that wrote South Pacific and, all those classic, musicals from the, was it the 40s, 50s, and into the 60s. And it's got a very Moulin Rouge kind of feel to it. It is, it's all really, really elaborate, bright, colorful costume designs, lots of top hats and curly mustaches and that sort of thing. And it's just great. They go into like the Mikado, when they made the Mikado, we are gentlemen of Japan, all that kind of stuff. Just wonderful. And then I'm going to follow that up with Robert Altman's Prairie Home Companion, which is a movie from 2006.
Wow.
And this one is, I mean, once again, Robert Altman just packs everyone he can possibly wrangle from Hollywood. He packs them into his movies. That's sort of what he does. And this was the last movie I think he made as a director before he passed away. And it is all set in a theater called the Prairie Home Companion. It's a radio show that is broadcast live. So it's set in like the 1920s or 30s, something like that. And the Prairie Home Companion was a real, or maybe even still is, a real radio show. So they're actually dipping into real life to reenact something that does exist, but in a very comical way. And it is just all set on the one stage. A little bit of it's behind the scenes of that stage, but it is essentially country folk, what do you call it? Yeah, country folk acts that come out and just sing for an audience and to the world through, those old school microphones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the music in it is like some of it's original, some of it's like classic songs. You got, I think Woody Harrelson's in there. I'm blanking out on the cast, but if you look at the poster alone, you'll just see how many amazing people are in there, young and old. Is Taylor Lautner in there? I don't know. Someone along those lines is in there. But Prairie Home Companion, I thought Topsy Turvy and that go together very nicely. Jazz singer singing in the rain, and it's there you go. There's my old school classics musicals.
Wow. That's a very eclectic type of lineup, and I like it.
Yeah.
I do, however, I've kept this close to myself for a very, very long time. I need to admit something.
All right. You haven't seen Singing in the Rain?
I've never seen Singing in the Rain.
Well, that's I mean, I would otherwise say that's a very guilty admission, but that's an exciting admission, because when you watch this film, you will actually think, I've just witnessed the greatest musical of all time for the first time. Like, it is that good. It is good.
I'm kind of I don't know. I haven't put it on because it is hyped up so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It lives up to it, though. It does live up to it. And you love your classic musicals, right?
Absolutely.
And when you watch it, you'll understand how many films, let alone musicals, have derived from it. Like,
yeah. And I've got a basic understanding of that. And I know, but it's just never been that right time for me,
Fair enough.
And I've not told many people that.
Now you've told
because
the world.
it's a really guilty. For some reason, I feel like,
I get that.
Fuck, I should have seen that. And
yeah.
Do
you know, there's a podcast that we've been toying with. We haven't done yet. It's Ben's idea. We may produce it at some point in time. It'll be a short event, sort of, short-lived series, but he wants to do a podcast about films that we haven't seen that we should have. And we're talking major films that everyone else has seen, but we haven't. So man,
I'm going to be your number one guest, because compared to you guys, I've seen.
But I'm talking like big things, like it might be Star Wars. It might be, really big ones that you really, if you do what we do for a living, you really should know.
Should have seen it.
Yeah. So that may be coming still, but.
Wow, I like it.
Cool.
All right, shall I go for my first one?
Yeah. So I think the first theme I gave you was beach.
Beach themed.
Yep.
It's a very broad theme, which was great for me, because I could take it any which way I liked.
Yep.
And I decided to, stick with a beach-ish theme and pick movies that I hopefully think will go well together, but kind of break it up as well. I think I've gone more of the comedy route as well, because just to keep it a little bit more lighthearted. So my first one. And I don't know if it would go. Okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying that I love all of these movies, but I don't know if I would watch them in this order. I haven't kind of fully committed to an order.
Well, maybe we can play these as you go. So,
all right, okay. So for my beach theme, my first one I have is Weekend at Bernie's.
Incredible.
Because obviously,
incredible.
Obviously,
and I mean, if it was me, I'd back that up with Weekend at Bernie's too, of course.
Yes, I don't want to do back to back.
All right. Fair enough.
Sequels. I want to break it up a little bit. All right. So my second one would be Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Awesome.
Now, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, not technically a beach movie, but it is based in Hawaii, very beachy sort of themes.
Yep.
This movie, personally for me, whenever it's on the television, I have to stop and watch it.
Yep.
It's just one of those ones that I just cannot go past. It's always like a go-to. It's just the combination of all the characters and who play them and all of it together. It just makes me happy, I would then choose Baywatch, because who doesn't want to see Zac Efron without his shirt on?
Yeah, no, fair. It's a good movie too.
I don't need to explain any further than that, I don't think. And then my last one would be 50 First Dates, because I would be remiss if I didn't put an Adam Sandler movie in there.
Sure. Interesting.
And Sean Astin in a mesh tank top is just such comedy gold.
You've got a good point there. Interesting lineup. Very interesting. I don't think there is
It
a
is
right or
interesting.
wrong order to put those in. I think that order's probably fair. I think that's a fair order.
I think so. I think it starts it off, and builds and builds and builds. But I so TikTok's going to hate me for this. I did have Castaway in there. But with all the other ones, I didn't feel like that.
No, see that. No. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but that's kind of the fun of some movie marathons where, even if you had Castaway and something else a bit serious, and then you threw in a comedy, like it's a palate cleanser. Like it really.
Yeah, but that's what I tried to do with Twilight, and I got fucking ripped to shreds.
No, but like, yeah, it's still gotta. Yeah, it's still got to make sense.
Anyway, Castaway was on there, but it got the flick for Weekend at Bernie's, because
cool.
it was either that or Weekend at Bernie's.
Castaway too would come more in a survivalist type of movie marathon.
Yeah, I think so as well. I feel like it's a bit long as well for those other ones where they're quick, funny ones.
Awesome. Now, I was thrilled with the next one you threw at me. Like this one really.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this one excited me. I thought it was very clever. So you've asked me to do Wes Anderson-esque movies.
Yes.
So movies that are not Wes Anderson, but kind of fit that type of filmmaking.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So
I was really interested to see what you'd come up with here.
Is this because like you're keen to watch movies that are like Wes Anderson, but are not Wes Anderson?
Kind of, but also like I tried to think of the most challenging thing I could, and that's what I came up with.
No, it's good. Like to be honest with you, it really appealed to my sensibilities. Like it got my imagination thinking, and I came up with some beauties here. So I could have kept going. I could have just kept going with this one. So I'm starting off with an Australian film that came from 2015, and it's called Girl Asleep, and it is a wonderful movie. Actually, the guy in it, is like a very much like an Edward Cullen type of actor, like Robert Pattinson type of actor who was in Twin Peaks, the reboot series. I wish I could remember his name.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Girl Sleep, it's a very fanciful type of movie about high school and a girl in high school that has an imagination, and she, when she dreams, she goes off to this fantasy land, and it's made up of like cardboard cutout trees, and the clouds are like on sticks and they move in the background, that kind of thing. Yeah. And it's a wonderful film. I'm not doing it any justice. It's got a real strong musical component to it as well. And it's produced by this little theatre company from Adelaide that do these type of productions for real. And this was their attempt to make a feature film. And I just think it is the most delightful thing. Yeah, so what I'll actually do for this video, I'm going to put the poster up on the screen so that people can see what I'm talking about. It's fantastic. But I'm going to back that up with Amélie, the French film from 2001.
Oh, yeah.
I love. It is, once again, it's about a woman that just sees the good in the world, and it's very fantasy based, and every little detail in her life and in society she can find something positive about, whether it's a cherry on top, whether it's the glisten in the water, whether it's, just something, the ding of a bicycle bell, everything to her is magical. And I think that's a beautiful film. We've had the director on the show to talk about it, to be honest with you, on Good Movie Monday. So if you love Amélie and French cinema, go back and have a listen to that. It's a really good interview. A little bit of a communication barrier though, because he's French and had a he's broken English, but he had a translator there, and it was a challenging conversation for me. And then the next one, there's a film from Australia, 1988. It's called Ricky and Pete, and this is from Nadia Tass, the director of The Big Steal, which I've been trying to get Chloe to watch for the longest time, and Malcolm. She made Malcolm, which is that movie with the car that splits in half, and it's iconic. And this one kind of flew under everyone's radar because she'd done two amazing films back to back. Actually, this one came before The Big Steal. She'd done Malcolm. Maybe this was after Malcolm, but expectations were very high for her to produce another Malcolm. Ricky and Pete's what she did. And it feels very similar. It's about a guy that's a crazy inventor and a musician at the same time, comes up with all these contraptions. And then he has his sister, and they go for a massive road trip into the center of Australia and just meet characters along the way. but it's got
I feel
quirky.
like I've seen this.
It's got quirky Wes Anderson-esque things like, because he's an inventor and things are kind of quirky. They're driving this little car and he puts like an armchair on the roof and can steer it from the roof with ropes. And
I feel like I have seen this.
yeah, it is just
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful film. And what's really tragic about it is that you can't get it in Australia. Like I have it on DVD, but I had to import it from the UK or
When
America.
did this come out?
Yeah, 1988.
I feel like I've seen this.
Possibly. It used to get a lot
Yeah.
of airtime on television, like, midday movies or like
Yeah.
Friday night movies and things like that. But it just
Yep.
fell by the wayside and it's never spoken about anymore. And Nadia Tass has gone on to make other great films. And Ricky and Pete just sort of, no one knows it. So Ricky and
Poor
Pete
Ricky
is
and
another
Pete.
one. And I'm going to end it with Michelle Gondry's Human Nature. This is a movie with Risa Farnes, Patricia Arquette, Tim Robbins. And Michel Gondry is a music video director from France that's very quirky, and he made movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He made the new TV show Happiness or Happy, whatever it's called, the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
Human Nature, though, is all about a guy played by Risa Farnes that has grown up his entire life living with wolves in the wilderness. And this kind of mad doctor, mad scientist sort of finds him and then tries to reintroduce him into the human world. But obviously he brings all of the canine traits with him.
Mhm.
So trying to put him in a suit, but he still cocks his leg and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's so ludicrous, but it's so creative and fun. And Patricia Arquette plays sort of like the doctor's assistant, I think, that falls in love with him. And he, he sniffs her instead of kissing her and all this kind of stuff. Like, it is just crazy, but it's very much along the lines of Wes Anderson movie. So there we go. There's mine. Girl Asleep, Amelie, Ricky and Pete, Human Nature.
I'm very impressed by your
thanks.
lineup there. Yeah, I was really interested to see where you would go with that. Good job.
Thanks.
Good job.
So what did I give you next? I gave you...
You gave me Country.
Yeah.
Country road, take me home. This was an interesting one because, again, I could have gone any which way with that. And I was at first leaning towards maybe kind of Western, spaghetti Western type things.
Sure.
And then I kind of reined myself in again and I kind of went down the comedy path again.
Okay.
Because, it's my go-to. It makes me
jam.
happy. It's what I like. And I'm making a filmathon that I would want to watch. So,
all right, lay it on me.
All right. So I want to see if you could guess what I picked. But the first one I picked,
Okay.
Blazing Saddles. Even though it makes me very uncomfortable to watch.
Why?
It's because it's not so PC these days. I get that little sort of gut ball in my stomach, and I'm just like, oh,
no, that's the stuff you should be like.
That's towing the line. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's funny, but it makes me cringe a little bit.
Let's just stick on that for a moment because it's a fantastic conversation to have, and it's because Blazing Saddles finds itself in the spotlight a lot now with the TikTok culture and people wanting to cancel everything, right? The thing is not you, but what a lot of Gen Z don't understand when they're criticizing this film is the context of the film. And it was even edgy at the time. And it was written by Richard Pryor, who was the biggest black comedian on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And do Gen Z not think that they know they're stepping over the line? Like, that's precisely the point. Like,
a lot of people like to speak before they think. I do it. Everyone does it. I understand that, but they take it to, I'm not Gen Z. I just need to make that perfectly clear.
Not. That's why I said that. Yeah.
I'm a millennial. I don't know. It's made to, that movie was made, I think, to make you feel uncomfortable a little bit.
Yep.
And it just means it's doing its job.
It's the same with the producers. Mel Brooks was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Breaking down barriers between races. The people that come off bad because of all the controversial things that come out of their mouth are the people that look bad. Like in the movie, like it doesn't pan out.
It's the character. It's the character.
Nothing bodes well for those people.
I completely get it. Anyway. I completely get it. And that's why I chose it though, because it does its job. It does what it intends to do. It's a great film. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But it does its job and it does make me internally cringe a little bit. So
well, there you go.
That's why I picked it. My next one, again, I'm going to preface this by saying not in this particular order, but maybe in this particular order.
Yeah.
Ridiculous Six had to make their way in there. Of course.
That's gonna get you the ire of TikTok for sure, particularly when you're backing up Blazing Saddles
care.
with Ridiculous Six. Like, I like Ridiculous Six a lot, but that's like that really is a proverbial slap in the face to Mel Brooks by putting them side by side.
Well, it doesn't have to go side by side. This is what I mean.
In the same lineup, like in the same fucking universe.
No. No. No, of course they belong in the same universe.
No, they don't. But okay, continue.
Fight me on it. All right, so Ridiculous Six, because again, we all know the reasons. Next would be Smokey and the Bandit.
Excellent. Another one that, just would not be made today because of its content, particularly the Jackie Gleason stuff. But I'll tell you what, just love that film.
Just a good movie.
Series. I love that series.
Just great.
Yep.
Just Burt Reynolds in his heyday with that. He's the only person I'll ever say this about, but that glorious mustache. Any other time, a mustache will make me.
You're on the same page as my wife.
I'm sorry, can't do it. But Burt Reynolds.
I tell you what, too, like that
he
is
wants
a
mustache ride. I mean,
that is a movie. It's funny. Last week I posted our Christmas episode from last week because it's July Christmas, and you made that reference in that episode, by the way.
What reference?
Mustache ride.
No.
Yep. Ben was talking about Santa going down on Mummy, and you're like, who doesn't love a mustache ride?
Wow, what a callback.
Smokey and the Bandit is a movie. I'm legitimate when I say this. We quote it at least every week in our house.
Good.
Because I will call the kids tick turds. And that's, the sheriff, down tick turd. Anyway, glorious film. Love it.
Same. Absolutely. And I don't even know if I have any business finishing it off this way, but I needed something rom-commy. So I went with a good old With a Knife and went with Sweet Home Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I doubt anyone would have stuck around for that one. They would have left early.
Probably, but it's a nice, light-hearted, fun, cute little movie. And Melanie Lynskey is just Melanie Lynskey. She's amazing. Reese Witherspoon.
The Josh Lucas?
Yeah, he's all right.
Okay.
I'm mainly in it for the female characters in that one. They're sassy and I love it.
Awesome. There we go.
Yeah.
What a melodramatic finale to that segment.
Well,
what else? There's not been a lot of movie news around lately.
No. But speaking of rom-coms, I did just finish watching a rom-com today. A Charlie Day and Jenny Slate one called I Want You Back.
Yes. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
It has a nice formula.
Well, thanks for telling me.
It's cute. It's really cute. I watched it for Charlie Day.
Yeah.
And Scott Eastwood is not bad to look at in this movie.
Okay.
You do get a bit of butt action and it's very nice.
If you go back through the history of Wednesday Up Late,
is it just me talking about butts?
Nobody objectifies people quite like you do. Like I don't objectify the women, but you certainly objectify the men.
Well, I mean, I'm paying them compliments because they deserve them and they work hard for them. So,
see, do you know the amount of criticism I would get if I was, to behave like you?
Go for gold, man. I mean, if I worked on myself the way that some of these actresses work on, I would expect bloody comments. I'm working hard for it. You compliment me, Ain't no judgment here, fella. Ain't no judgment here. Anyway, it was a cute little movie. It was very nice. Probably wouldn't go back and rewatch it. Jenny Slate kind of has the same effect on me as Sarah Silverman.
Nails on a chalkboard.
Kind of.
Yeah. I'm not going to objectify her.
Yeah. I don't know. It's their voices. It just
their voices and their opinions. They can fuck off.
Yeah, don't know. They have the kind of same effect on me. But yeah, other than that, it was a nice little movie that you could have on in the background.
Okay, I can guarantee you I won't watch that. Not the way you sold it.
Well, I mean, it was fine.
It was all right.
It was fine.
Not get on it, people.
No. What you should get on, there is an awesome new kids movie kids tween movie called, what's it called? Hang on, I've got it in my notes here. No, it's got a funny name. Nimona. It's kind of got this
Hey, Nimona.
Nimona.
We both went in different directions. Okay.
It's kind of done in the same sort of style as the Mitchells and the Machines.
Yep.
The kind of sketchy animation. It's really cool. And it's about this girl. She wants to be a sidekick. The whole world is like a kingdom, but it's a modern day kingdom. So they have phones, they have screens, all that kind of stuff. But there are still knights and castles and queens and all that kind of stuff. And she's kind of like a shapeshifter. And she's a little bit unhinged, not a little bit, she's a lot unhinged. And all she wants to do is be a sidekick to this one knight, this disgraced knight. And she shapeshifts into like rhinos and animals and this and that and the other. And she can shapeshift into other people. And it's really cute. And my kids were wetting themselves laughing the whole time watching it.
That's all that matters.
And I really enjoyed it as well. So Nimona, go get on that. It's actually really... I rate it.
I'm more likely to watch that one. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Pop that on your list.
Groovy. Done.
Done.
What's next?
New game alert. Nope. Okay.
I'll just sample that. I was leaving you enough air that I could cut it and sample it every week.
We are going to play a new game called How Many Can You Name? And basically, the whole premise is we're going to spit out a director, an actor, this, that, or the other, and we have to rattle off as many as we can name of projects that they have done. Correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I dread the fuck out of this one, though. Because,
me too.
Every time it comes to just, how many can you think of? I can never think of any on this specific show. Like, I could be anywhere else in conversation, and it's not a problem, and yet... when the pressure's
on the spot. I know. I'm exactly the same. I've tried to give you some good sort of easy ones.
Oh, well, you don't have to do that, but...
Well, no, just to ease ourselves in. I didn't want to make it too tricky and flunk the freaking game on the first night.
Well, when I'm playing games with girls, I like to ease my way in, so let's do it.
It's always preferred, yes. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, so how many can you name, Glenn? I'm going to shoot the first one out at you. John Hughes.
Okay. Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Are we talking ones he wrote as well?
Whatever you want.
Okay, Great Outdoors.
His projects.
Home Alone 1, 2, 3. We've got Career Opportunities. We've got Baby's Day Out. We have got Reach the Rock. We've got Nate and Hayes. We've got...
I mean, you're like almost at 15 now. I think you've knocked that out of the park.
No, but aren't we playing? Aren't we scoring?
Keep going.
How many am I up to? 15?
Yep.
Oh, what?
I think. Go. Keep going.
Oh, now I've lost my train of thought. Fucking hell.
Shit.
Oh, my God. What else? He's directed more. How am I not thinking of that? Curly Sue.
That movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie, that one. Dutch. Flubber. And I'll leave it at that.
18.
Oh, is it though? I'll have to count it when I edit.
It's around there.
So we're not going to
I'll give you 18.
We're not going to know who wins this until
I know,
edit.
and I completely forgot that we were scoring. 18. Wow.
I think it doesn't feel like that was 18, but okay, cool.
That's pretty bloody good, man.
Thanks.
I'm not going to get anything close to that.
Okay. Well, this person hasn't made that many movies, so how many can you name?
To fail.
Ready?
Yep.
How many can you name? Wes Anderson.
Oh, none?
Oh, what? I thought you were all over Wes Anderson.
No.
How many can you name?
There's one with that guy that has the big nose and the eyebrows. He looks like Adrian Brody, but he's not Adrian Brody.
Well, Adrian Brody's in heaps of Anderson movies.
Birdman? Is Birdman one?
No.
Ooh. Not off to a good start.
No,
I can see them in
there's a
my
new one
brain.
coming out like in a couple of weeks. Asteroid City, The French Dispatch, Royal Tenenbaums, Bottle Rocket,
Oh, I know that one.
Moonrise Kingdom,
No,
Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou,
no.
Fantastic Mr. Fox, Isle of Dogs.
Oh, I think I've seen like 5 minutes of that.
Okay, all right. Well, that was a fizzer, wasn't it?
That was bad. That was
No,
bad.
that's look. I'm gonna shoulder that one because I didn't know that you weren't across Wes Anderson. Otherwise, I would have.
No, no. I know his style and I
You'll
know
see.
his kind of his signature and
Yeah.
his look,
Okay.
but I've never taken the time to
You'll
kind
see
of.
from the rest of the ones I've got that that's clearly what I was doing. I was trying to throw one at you that you might be able to cover.
Okay, that
Oh
that
no!
didn't happen.
I just threw a piece of paper in my coffee. I haven't finished the coffee. I thought it was an empty mug. Damn it!
Protein.
All right.
All right,
well,
your next
go
one.
for it. Yeah,
All right.
I'm still scared.
Okay,
Still
how many
scared.
can you name Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey's on my list. Do you just in fairness, would you like me to throw Jim Carrey at you and you throw a different one at me?
Yeah,
Otherwise...
let me pick a different one for
All
you.
right.
Let's do Paul Rudd.
Oh, that's hard. Okay. Um Halloween 6, Wet Hot American Summer, Role Models, Ant-Man 1, 2, 3. Paul Rudd is in Ghostbusters Afterlife. If we're counting the new one, Ghostbusters Firehouse, upcoming.
Is he in that?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Uh, what's the one? This is 40.
Yep.
Yes. And what was the one before that? Knocked Up, Anchorman, Anchorman 2, 40-Year-Old Virgin. I'll leave it there.
13.
13. And he did so many he did like early career like Clueless and shit like that.
I was gonna say, yeah, you missed Clueless.
Yeah, I know. Bugger.
Good. No, you're really good at this game.
No, you know what? The frame of mind I'm taking here is I'm trying to make this a casual conversation. I'm trying to like just pretend that you've just asked me a question. We're sitting at a picnic table at Comic-Con eating chips, and you've just asked me that question.
Yeah.
Like it's the easiest way to go about it. So okay, how many can you name? Jim Carrey.
Ace Ventura 1, Ace Ventura 2, Dumb and Dumber 1, Dumb and Dumber 2. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Liar Liar.
You're looking at the screen.
I'm not.
Oh, it looks like you're reading.
No. I'm looking just up into the distance because I'm trying to think. I swear to you. I'm competitive. I'm not a cheater. What did I leave off with? Liar Liar. See, this is where my mind is going blank now. Far out. The Grinch. Oh, I think I'm tapped. This is so embarrassing.
Cable Guy.
Oh, Cable Guy. Yeah, no, I've fizzed now.
8 isn't bad.
It's not great.
No, it's not, but it's all right.
It's a bit embarrassing.
Hey, not as embarrassing as me
later.
Every other week, I'm the one that humiliates myself on this, so this fucking feels great.
Oh no.
What happened? Oh. I thought something popped out. It did.
Technical missed out. Ratings. Talk about being banned from TikTok. All right. How many can you name Seth Rogen?
Oh, that's a horrible one. Okay, super bad. Hang on, I've got one in mind, and I want to get it before any others. What's the Paul Blart style one? Observe and Report. Knocked Up. Sausage Party. And I should know so many of this guy's freaking films. We'll go, This Is the End, and we will do. What's that horrible one he just did? A Long Shot. He did Long Shot. Um, the one with Eddie Murphy recently was the fucking worst film of the year. What was that? Can't remember.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I can't even remember that.
no. Oh, I'm blanking out here. I'm blanking out, and I really shouldn't. I'll just leave it at that.
6.
Yeah. All right.
Not too bad. Pineapple
Uh,
Express.
yeah, I know.
Super
Like,
bad.
there's so many I could have gone for, but oh yeah, that fucking Christmas one they did the night after, or
Ah,
night
with
before.
Joseph
Gordon
Gordon-Levitt.
Levitt,
I
yeah,
quite liked that movie
yeah, it's because
actually.
it's a
Now
good
that you bring
movie.
that up,
Yeah,
yeah, I put it on just like expecting it to be like, okay. It was really good. I
I
really
like
liked it.
I like that brand of movie. Office Christmas Party was another good
Uh-huh.
one. Just the ones where they're like on just a drunken quest or something like that.
Yep.
You know, yeah, they're the best.
Harold and Kumar. Love
Yeah,
it.
that kind of stuff. Sure.
Love it. All right. How many? Oh no, it's my turn.
Yeah, how many can you name? Melissa McCarthy.
Ooh. Does Gilmore Girls count? All right. So, um, Ghostbusters.
Mhm.
It's one with Kristen Bell. I can't remember what it's called. Oh my God, Bridesmaids. Why am I blanking? There's one with Sandra Bullock.
Mhm.
I can't remember what it's called.
Mhm.
Identity Thief.
Mhm.
Oh my God, she's made so many.
I know it's so much easier when you throw the question because I'm just rattling them off in my brain.
Yeah, they're in your head
Yeah,
and they're not in any of mine.
that's all right. Any of your head?
They're what?
They're in your head, but they're not in any of mine.
What's in your head? It's not in my head.
McCarthy, McCarthy, McCarthy.
Oh, oh. Nah, I'm blanked.
The one you were thinking of is The Heat.
The Heat.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then you got The Boss.
The Boss. That's the
You
one
got
with Kristen Bell.
you got Tammy.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I've seen that
She
one.
was in The Life of David Gale, that Kevin Spacey movie from all those years ago. Like,
Oh, yeah, no. This is harder when you're
yeah,
trying to
I'm
think of it.
I'm really enjoying this game. I'm enjoying the process of doing it with you, but I wonder how it sounds to listen to.
We're gonna see, aren't we?
Yeah, drop us a comment
People
if you're listening.
People are probably screaming at us.
Oh, for sure, that doesn't bother me. But it's just like, is it like because there's a lot of silence in between? So anyway,
Try and cut it in between.
no, I'm not gonna do that.
Edit it. All right. Your last one.
Mm.
How many can you name Julia Roberts?
Julia Roberts. Okay, let's go. Mystic Pizza, Steel Magnolias, Pretty Woman, Oceans 11, 12, 13. We've got Erin Brockovich, My Best Friend's Wedding, Runaway Bride. We've got Eat, Pray, Love. We've got what's one with the daughter? We've got fuck. I'm going blank now. When you stop to think of one, you lose track of all the others. Flatliners. And
oh, she the original of that.
Yeah, leave it at that. Flatliners is just one of the great modern gothic thrillers of all time. It's just a masterpiece.
I tried to watch like this, like they put out Flatliners, like the newer one.
Yeah, it's shit.
I got so bored.
No, I hate that you've done that because it does kind of tar the original a bit. But the original, I think, is so up your alley. I think you really love it. It's like a Brat Pack movie. Like it's Julie Roberts,
Sutherland,
and Oliver Platt, and Kevin Bacon and Billy Baldwin, and it's just so good. And it's
I watched the newest one because it's got Diego Luna in it, and I love him. And I was just like, this is piece of shit.
I don't like remakes, and I went into that one not only hating remakes but hating the fact that they were remaking this particular movie. Like it was just garbage anyway. Yeah,
completely fair. All right, you got one for me?
I do. How many can you name? Robin Williams.
Oh, Flubber. Good Morning Vietnam. Mrs. Doubtfire. Patch Adams. Good Will Hunting. Fuck my life. Uh,
Ding, 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 ding,
Jumanji.
ding.
Um, ah, this is so frustrating. I cannot believe
It really
how
is.
frustrating this is because you know you're a
Uh-huh.
super fan
Mm-hmm.
and like you can't even sit here and rattle off these fucking movies that he's
Mm-hmm.
been in.
Yeah.
I can't think of
Okay.
anything else.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them's
I
not
got
too bad.
six.
I'm impressed that the second one you said was Good Morning Vietnam. Like fantastic go to there.
Love that movie. That was, I think, one of the first movies that Mum introduced me to for Robin Williams
It is
was Good
it is
Morning
like
Vietnam.
not only does that movie pretty much showcase every one of his abilities, right? Not a comedic, I should say, dramatic, but it's the only movie I can think of where he gets upstaged by another actor.
When?
The little guy that runs the bar, and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
says he talks about his shiny green suit.
yeah.
Funnier than anything Rob Williams has said in the film. Like, it's that good.
It's a great movie. And when I wouldn't get up for school, Mum would bust in the door and go, "Good morning, Vietnam,"
Time to
just to
rock it from the
piss me
depths of
off.
the
Yep.
Follow the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Follow the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
It's been so
Please.
long since I've seen that movie. I definitely need a revisit, actually.
I love it, love it. And if you do, I can quote it all night. I'm not gonna.
I was going to say, you look a little crazy. You do.
Far out. Awesome. That was. I don't know how that game went. I enjoyed
Oof.
it, but I do
It
want to
was
do it
rough, I
again. But
felt
maybe,
like.
maybe we. Well, you told me to go in easy, but I'm sorry, it was rough.
No, it was easy. That's the thing. But it's like you're in that moment. You're like, wow, I look like a fucking idiot, don't I?
I'm just going to address the audience. Yes, she did. She did really miss that joke, and it's disappointing.
Oh, no.
At the start of the game, I said I was going to go in easy, and then at the end we came out rough. Anyway, never mind.
Well, it builds. I'm trying to save it. I can't
No,
save it.
moving on.
Save it.
Moving on. Far out.
Oh no. Oh no.
What do you? I mean, I don't want to get into too much controversy, but like, what do you make of this whole fucking Disney Snow White bullshit that's going on?
What bullshit? Tell
Well, the
me.
controversy, like, it's blowing up all over the place at the moment. Disney are just not doing anything right at the moment, and that sort of bleeds into the writer strike and all that, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like, photos have leaked from the set, right? And they've replaced all the dwarfs with other grown-ass humans, and they're diverse, right? So there's a woman in there, you got like a tall sort of black guy, it's just like a very diverse, and there's one little guy in there, right?
Okay.
And suddenly a whole lot of some are saying like that's obviously them trying to just keep on the woke train that they've been on for the last 10 years or whatever. But then you've got these like these groups of actual dwarfs saying, well, no, if there was one movie that was for us, it is this one.
And this is what I'm talking about, right? By trying to diversify, it is already diverse in the fact that apart from like Game of Thrones or something, you don't see a whole lot of roles for actors that
That's
have,
right.
I can't even
Dwarfism.
remember the
Dwarfism.
There is a name for it, and I wish I remembered it right now, but I don't. But there's 7 roles.
Yeah.
Right there that
Yep.
could create opportunities
Exactly.
for these actors.
Exactly.
And
But
you're gonna fuck that up. What?
Yep. Well, they would like, anyway, we won't go into why they've done it, but they've done it. It's not surprising at all, but quite rightfully so, that it's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Like, it should be dwarfs, but they're not going to be called dwarfs in the film. Like, they're just Snow White and the Seven Workers or something like that. But the other controversy, which I don't care about as much, but I do understand, is the fact that it's the lead actress is the chick from West Side Story. What's her name? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know who.
Yep. Yeah, something, not Ziegler. Anyway,
Cabello?
in the Heights as well.
Cabello? Camila Cabello? No, not Camila Cabello.
Anyway, the point being, she's a Latino actress, right? Which is not a problem. But Snow White is named after the complexity of her skin, the complexion of her skin. This is a brown-skinned person, so she's no longer Snow White. So you're not actually making Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in any way, shape, or capacity now. Like, it's really confusing, and Yeah, look, they just need to stop with the remakes in general and start making some original content. Because let's face it, this Gen Z we were talking about before is growing up only knowing remakes.
Yeah.
Superhero movies. They don't know original content anymore. And they think things like this are just the best. When in historical context of cinema, they're actually the worst.
Compared to, yeah, exactly. Compared to everything else that we've got to witness in this whole need to get out so much content and try and make it better than the rest, it's actually just hurting. It really is hurting.
And that's one thing that the CEO of Disney did say a couple of weeks ago, is that the reason Disney are failing so much at the moment is because of the amount of content they're putting out, particularly television. Like they're just diluting the cinemascape, right? There's too much on offer.
Do we need more Marvel TV shows? No.
But
do we need more Star Wars TV shows? Absolutely not.
But
do we need something unique and interesting to give these writers who are on strike opportunities to showcase their work? Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the whole writer strike, the whole thing behind the writer strike is more, every time there is a shift in technology in Hollywood, there is a writer strike and quite often an actor strike as well, which is rightfully so. So the last big one that they did together was when VHS came along, right? Or home video, because what it did was suddenly there's a new revenue stream, which was home video, but there was nothing written in contract that said that the actors get royalty.
Benefit from it.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had to do that. And now it's the same with streaming. Streaming's come along and AI is coming along, which can really screw some people over in perpetuity. So they're rightfully protesting. What is so rank here? And I'm going to just give you a stat just to leave with people to think about. Bob Iger, I've mentioned him a few times, the head of Disney. He's come out criticizing them, saying they're being unreasonable in their demands. Now, let's just think about that. Here's something to compare. The average writer in Hollywood, because don't forget, not every writer in Hollywood is a big name. Like, they're mostly not. The average income is $65,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right? Bob Iger's income is $700 million a year. So he's making per day more than they make in a year.
That's disgusting.
It is. And whereas
it's disgusting.
If you go back as little as 30 years ago, that was way more balanced. It was more like he was making $30 million a year as opposed to $700 million a year, right? Which is reasonable. I think when you're a CEO, you should be earning more, but not when it's so fucking out of kilter. Anyway, we won't go political, but that's something that's related to cinema.
Yeah, absolutely. Gross. Thank you for that stat. It's disgusting. I hate it so much.
And to come out swinging saying they're being unreasonable, like, fuck off. Like, Disney right now have a monopoly on the entire whole system, and they're squeezing the life out of it. Mark Ruffalo was quite right when he's gotten onto social media and he's encouraging all of the big A-list Hollywood actors to abandon Hollywood and make independent films now.
Good. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Because
absolutely bring back actual fucking cinema.
Even while the writer strike is on, it doesn't affect movies that are made for less than $2 million, right? So all of these A-listers could forego a wage, make one independent film each, which gives it instant platform because their name's attached to it. Suddenly we've got a whole new Hollywood system. We've got new kinds of films coming out. Disney can get fucked. Anyway.
Just once again, Mark Ruffalo being amazing and
cool.
Throwing out those awesome suggestions.
Oh, let's push on though, because I think this
what a good fact.
Way over time, eh?
Well, it's a good fact, and that leads us into our next segment anyway to finish us off for truth or false.
True or false for those that actually care about English language.
I don't.
No.
It's only the language I speak. We are going to play truth or false. We've played this many times before. The premise is simple. Let's have at it.
All right. I've got something up my nose. I don't know what it is. And it looks like I've been doing coke or something because I just
boogers.
It's not boogers. Oh.
Boogers.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
All right, I'm gonna go first. Okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna shoot one at you. See if you can catch it. So Christopher Mintz-Plasse, who played Fogel or McLovin in Superbad, had to have his mum on set during his sex scene in Superbad.
I'm going to say true.
It is true. He was only 17 years old and his mum had to be present for his sex scene.
How awkward.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Well, I mean, at the same time, he's getting up and close and personal with a lady.
I would die.
Yeah.
I would die.
Well, there we go. All right, true or false? Samuel L. Jackson had a small role as a detective in the flashback sequence of Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, true.
Absolutely false.
Really?
It was an actor called Randy Brooks who's been in the
Oh.
X-Files and other things, but the script was written for Samuel L. Jackson to do that role.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured he's like,
You got eye
I
boogers.
thought he'd be, like an
Boogers.
eyelash or boogers. There's something in my eye. I've been
Something
trying
like
to play it
nose
off.
and there's
I'm like,
something in your eye. What is going on here?
I don't know. There's something in my eye.
We've just got a title for the show.
I
Excellent.
just boogers. I just thought, seeing as how, you know, Samuel L. Jackson is in all of sort of Tarantino stuff, he had to be in it.
Yeah,
But I was wrong.
Fair enough.
I was wrong.
Boom, boom.
Okay. The Catalina wine mixer was a real event that happened yearly. When the producers of Step Brothers approached the event with their intentions, they were such big Will Ferrell fans that they jumped at the opportunity.
Oh, I don't know the answer to this. I'm gonna take an educated guess and say it's true, simply because Will Ferrell is a wine connoisseur in real life.
It's so false. It's not even funny.
Really?
The fucking Catalina wine mixer was actually created for the movie. And then it was so popular that they actually turned it into a real thing that's been going on since like 2015.
And is Will Ferrell behind that? Because I know he makes wine and he travel, like he was in the Yarra Valley like not long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, doing
yeah.
wine
I don't
tasting.
think he's behind it. I think it's just something that has sprung up from this, but it is the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Great. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. True or false? Jim Carrey is in a Dirty Harry movie.
Oh, I really want that to be true. I really do. I'm going to say it's true.
It is true. He's in the Deadpool 1988, which is the final Dirty Harry film. And that was only like a couple of years before he did Ace Ventura.
No way.
Yeah, he was actually, before Ace Ventura, he had made quite a few films. He was the lead actor in Once Bitten with Lauren Hutton. Like,
wow. Yeah, I did know he'd done a few things, but he didn't kind of blow up until
of course,
Ace Ventura. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's so cool that he was in a Dirty Harry movie. I love that.
Yeah, I love the Dirty Harry series. They're fantastic.
Yes. All right. So before filming the infamous sword fighting scene in The Princess Bride, Elwes and Patinkin learned each other's choreography.
Well, that's got to be true because no. All right. I'd say that's got to be true because otherwise you can't stage a fight on screen. However, if they want the fight to be a bit more unpredictable, they wouldn't. So I'm going to say false.
It's actually true.
I meant true. You heard me, everyone.
They were actually like contractually obliged to learn each other's choreography in case, well, just to kind of eliminate accidents because they were actual like sword fighting. So
that's what I was getting at in the first place. Like you can't stage anything unless you know the other person's moves.
Right.
And I thought maybe to add some chaos to the mix, they wouldn't have. But
I know that makes sense as well as learning each other's choreography. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure Patinkin learnt it like left-handed as well. Yeah.
Sweet.
Fucking Patinkin is so cool.
Patinkin, and he's on the front line of the writer strike right now.
Good.
Okay, so true or false? Keanu Reeves was nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for his role in I Love You to Death.
Oh, false.
In the late 80s. You going false?
Yep.
Yeah, it's false.
God for that.
But here's one of the best things about the film.
I've never heard of it, but I agree with you because
Lawrence Kasdan, the guy that wrote Empire Strikes Back, he made The Big Chill. He wrote this film, and it's got Kevin Kline and
wow,
yeah, it's a big ensemble cast, and Keanu Reeves is one of many. So good, look it up.
So good. All right. The baby's name in Knocked Up ends up being Magnolia.
I don't fucking know. False.
Correct.
Okay.
It's not actually stated in the movie what they call the baby. However, in the credits, the baby is listed as Stephanie.
So where did Magnolia come from?
Don't know, just picked it.
Oh, that's an interesting name to go with.
I think had just come off the writing the Julia Roberts thing for how many can you name and just went with Magnolia for some reason.
Excellent. Okay, true or false? Roald Dahl wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, that seems like something that he would write. It's pretty fucked up. And he does write some pretty fucked up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say false that it wasn't written by him, but I'm gonna say that it was written with the inspiration of his work.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of ambiguity on this one. I'm going to say technically you're wrong.
Okay.
This was an interesting one because it was co-written, so it's not based on any book he wrote, but he wrote the screenplay.
Okay.
But he wrote it based on work by and with Ian Fleming of James Bond fame.
Oh, interesting.
So Roald Dahl and Ian Fleming are behind Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Bang Bang, we love you.
Oh. Hi ho, pretty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang loves us too. And chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang 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 do. Chitty chitty bang bang, F5 for offended friend. All I know, like I've seen that movie a million times, I reckon, but Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura. It's all I imagine him. Chitty.
Oh, you bitch. I was about to go for that line.
So good. So good.
Oh, shit.
Oh, goodness. What a fun evening. Well, thank you, Glenn, and everyone for joining us for a whole nother week. Please don't forget to go to our socials and subscribe and check us out. We're on Facebook and YouTube and Newsly as podcasts. So, yeah, please go check us out. And
okay.
Have a good night.
All right, I'm going to pull out now. Thanks, Chloe.
Do it. Okay, bye.
Wow. That's how it goes.